night everything ended began quietly. Lucia's parents went to a late church meeting. Daniel knew the schedule. He always did. The house felt heavier the moment the car pulled away. Lucia stayed in the kitchen, pretending to study. Daniel watched her from the hallway. He didn't rush. He never rushed. That was part of the terror. He reminded her of the video. He reminded her of the threats. He told her he had copies saved online. He laughed again. Lucia's hands shook. She felt the walls closing in. For the first time, she understood something clearly. There would be no end unless she made one. When Daniel moved toward her, Lucia backed away. Her hand brushed the kitchen counter. The knife block was there, something she had seen 1,000 times. In that moment, her body moved before her mind could stop it. Daniel reached for her wrist. Lucia grabbed the knife. The struggle was brief and chaotic. No words, no shouting, only panic. Lucia stabbed once. Daniel staggered back, shocked. She stabbed again. Then she stopped. The silence that followed was unbearable. Daniel collapsed near the doorway. Lucia stood frozen, the knife slipping from her hand. Blood spread across the floor. Her breathing was loud in her ears. She waited for the fear to vanish. It didn't. But something else did. Control. Lucia called 911 herself. Her voice was steady. She told them exactly what happened. When police arrived, she didn't run. She didn't hide. She pointed to the kitchen. She asked them to take her away. Detectives noticed her calm, but also the bruises she hadn't tried to hide. They found the phone hidden behind Daniel's dresser. Inside was the video. It showed Lucia in the bathroom doorway. And behind the doorframe, reflected faintly in the mirror, was Daniel, smiling. That detail would change everything. The Los Angeles County courtroom was packed when Lucia's trial began. The charge was murder. The stakes were life-defining. Prosecutors opened with the facts. A dead man, multiple stab wounds, no witnesses. They acknowledged the abuse allegations, but questioned the timing. Why now? They asked the jury. Why not report it earlier? The defense answered with psychology. Experts testified about coercive control, about how fear rewires decision-making. They explained why victims don't flee when escape seems obvious from the outside. They described how threats against loved ones trap victims more effectively than locks. Then came the video. The defense played it slowly. The camera angle was awkward, the image unclear, but the audio was unmistakable. Laughter. Calm, mocking. The jury watched Daniel's reflection in the mirror, smiling, enjoying the power. The courtroom went still. Lucia testified last. She didn't cry. She didn't dramatize. She spoke plainly. She described the threats, the fear, the moment she realized silence would never save her. When asked why she used the knife, she said one sentence that changed the room. "I believed he would kill my parents before anyone believed me." Cross-examination was harsh. The prosecution suggested exaggeration, suggested revenge. Lucia didn't argue. She simply repeated what she knew. Fear had narrowed her world to one night, one decision. The judge instructed the jury carefully. Self-defense, he explained, isn't only about immediate attack. Sometimes it's about preventing inevitable harm. The jury deliberated for 2 days. Lucia collapsed in her chair. Her parents wept. Outside the courthouse, crowds argued. Some called her a survivor. Others called her a killer who got away with it. Talk shows debated the case for weeks. The judge issued a rare written statement. He acknowledged the complexity of the case and the weight of the evidence. He cited the video. He cited expert testimony. He concluded that Lucia's actions met the threshold of lawful self-defense under extraordinary circumstances. But freedom didn't feel like victory. Lucia left the courtroom to flashing cameras. She never looked up. She moved out of Los Angeles within a month. She changed her name. She stopped using social media. Trauma didn't end with acquittal. It simply lost its audience. Daniel's friends insisted the video was misunderstood. Conspiracy theories bloomed online. Lucia ignored them all. Justice, the court decided, had been served. Healing was another matter. Years later, the case of People versus Hernandez became required reading in California law schools. It reshaped how courts viewed coercive control and delayed reporting. New guidelines were written. Training changed. Victims' advocates referenced Lucia's testimony often. Lucia herself never returned to court. She focused on rebuilding a life that had never been allowed to exist. Therapy was slow, trust slower, but survival was no longer silent. The video, the one with Daniel's laughter, remained sealed evidence. Judges cited it as proof that evil doesn't always look violent. Sometimes it smiles. And the question Los Angeles still whispers remains unresolved. How many people live in houses that look normal, while terror waits quietly behind the door?